After 2 years, WARNO will finally leave early access and be officially released on May 23rd. Today, we're taking a look at what you can expect from WARNO on release, the different editions, future DLCs, which include new nations, rewards for early access supporters, and more. What's interesting is that the price of the game won't be going up as the game leaves early access, though increasing the price of games that are leaving early access is something that's actually fairly common on Steam, so that's actually kind of nice to see. However, anyone who buys the game before the full release or has obviously bought the game until now will automatically gain access to the EA, no, not Electronic Arts, but the Early Access Pack. This pack includes 5 extra divisions that won't be part of the so-called Vanilla WARNO edition. Keep in mind, you've already had access to these 5 extra divisions for quite a while, so no, you're not getting 5 extra divisions. These are just ones that are going to be separated, because when the game releases, you can buy this pack if you haven't pre-ordered the game, and then you get these 5 divisions for about $10. Before we talk about the new WARNO Gold edition they announced, I want to skip ahead to the 2 new announced DLCs called North AG and South AG. Though no future release date or much info is given, the North AG DLC will add 2 new Army General campaigns, 4 operations, and 10 divisions. Some of these divisions, though maybe not all 10 of them, will be from nations new to the game, such as Belgium, Poland, and, very exciting, the Netherlands. And by the way, WARNO devs, if you need some Dutch voice actors, you know where to find me. Then the South AG will add a further 2 Army General campaigns, 4 operations, and again, 10 divisions. 3 new nations will be added to the game in this DLC as well: Spain and Canada for NATO, and Czechoslovakia for the Warsaw Pact. I don't think I have to explain that in the previous one, North AG, Belgium and the Netherlands are NATO, and Poland is the Warsaw Pact edition. Both these DLCs will cost about $25 on release, but we're not done talking about DLCs yet. 2 more DLCs have been announced outside of the North AG and South AG called the Nemesis DLCs. You might recognize that term from Steel Division 2. In WARNO, they'll most likely feature 1 NATO and 1 Pact division each time. These are going to be relatively small scale. The first Nemesis DLC, called Air Assault, has already been decided on by the developers. It'll feature the US 101st Airborne Division and the Soviet 56th Airborne Assault Brigade. Down the line, developers will allow people to vote between a few different pairs of divisions, and the pair with the most votes will become the next Nemesis DLC, again, as we've seen in Steel Division 2. These are set to cost about $5 each. Neither the Nemesis or either the South AG or North AG DLC are going to be available at release, though. Just keep in mind this is stuff that they're still working on for the future of WARNO. Now let's get back to the WARNO Gold Edition. As for the real WARNO lovers, this might actually be a decent idea to look into this. The Gold Edition will cost $80 for anyone who has not yet bought WARNO, and will include the South AG and North AG DLCs, as well as the 2 Nemesis DLCs. This means that it's definitely cheaper to get the Gold Edition if you plan on buying both the North AG and South AG DLCs, and obviously those 2 Nemesis DLCs are just some easy extra content. Besides those 4 DLCs, you'll also get access to 2 ebooks that have almost 200 pages between them in total. This is really for the die-hard WARNO fans, as it goes over the WARNO timeline, which is a little different from real-life history, as well as designer notes, reviews of in-game divisions, and more. The developers say that the Gold Edition will come with approximately $110 worth of content. A discount is mentioned at the end of the post for early access owners, but it's not specified what this discount will actually end up being. I assume it will just let early access owners upgrade from the $40 edition to the $80 Gold Edition, but hopefully at a discount of say $10 or $15. Charging $25 to $30 for the upgrade seems pretty fair. Granted, the North AG and South AG DLCs are already $25, but it would be a very nice way of them to say thanks to all their early access backers. Keep in mind, this is you pre-ordering or technically prepaying for content that we have yet to see, and I'm just not a huge fan of pre-ordering, but you obviously should do what you want to do. In the end, people have to decide. I think it's worth doing it for themselves. I'm a little bit disappointed that the special early access discount upgrade will only be available before the game releases. This means that say you have bought WARNO in early access, but in 5 months you feel like upgrading from the regular edition to the Gold Edition, you will not be getting that special discount anymore. So basically, you have a very limited time to decide whether or not you want to pay for the upgrade. I'd like to make a little side note here. The developers have answered countless questions on their Steam discussions pages about certain countries being added to the game. Though, way back in 2021, a developer answered that WARNO focuses on Germany, and many requested nations likely wouldn't make it into the game. I think countries like Italy, Greece, or Turkey have a relatively higher chance of making it into the game versus, say, Egypt or China. But I wouldn't be surprised if they might add some of these nations down the line, considering Still Division 2, while only having Eastern Front maps, now has a ton of Western Front Allied and Axis divisions. They could easily do something similar for WARNO. Maybe some fictional Expeditionary Corps or just straight up Nemesis DLCs might add a few of these new nations to the game that normally wouldn't really see any use in Germany in the Cold War era, especially as Wargame Dragon featured a lot of nations not currently seen in WARNO, but they might still have some interesting assets and tools and vehicles to see in WARNO. Now, what would you like to see in WARNO regarding new nations or divisions? Let me know down in the comments below, and also, while you're at it, let me know what you think about the new DLCs and those new nations inside of them, and if you're going to upgrade to the Gold Edition from the Early Access Edition, if that is applicable to you. I hope you enjoyed this little WARNO update, and I'll catch you in the next one.